Hi, my name is Grace Pendergraft, and I'm delivering a speech on why we should ban homework. Alright. Do you enjoy coming home from an 8-hour day of school just to do more school? Did you know that by grade level 3, you're required to do school after a full day of school? And then by middle school, you're required to do it over the weekend. So after a 56-hour week of school, you're then doing more work over your only days off. Isn't that kind of outrageous? According to the humanrestorationproject.org, on average, teenagers spend about an hour a day completing homework, which is 30 to 45 minutes more than decades past. Kindergartners, who are usually saved from completing a lot of work after school, average about 25 minutes, to note, which is 25 minutes more than child development experts say that you should. Okay, there's one time when I spent 4 hours after school doing work. So you'd have to think that's 12 hours of work for me in one day because I have 7 classes all putting homework on me. It's different if I have 1 class, but it's all 7. I've had to cancel plans with friends because there's just simply too much work to get done and I can't go out and enjoy my weekend because I have work to do after school. I think it's unnecessary to expect kids to do so much work after school when they're not in college or AP classes. That's not fair to them. It's overwhelming. Now, I would like to explain why homework can be bad for students and why we just shouldn't have it in general. Everyone needs to retain what they're learning, okay? Well, the school has given us 8 hours to do work to help retain all that knowledge. If they need to then send us home with more work, they're not doing their job good enough. Now, homework is simply too stressful, right? When kids have their grade on the line, 2 thoughts are going through their head. 1, it's that I'm going to cheat off a friend tomorrow and I'll just make up my grade like that. Or 2, it's that I need to get all of this done right now so that I can crack down and do other things afterward. Why is this unacceptable? Because it defeats the purpose of homework altogether. If one person's cheating and the other is just getting stressed out and sleep depriving themselves trying to complete it all, neither of them are actually getting any extra practice. They're just getting stressed out. According to Britannica's latest statistics on procon.org, 90% of middle school students and 67% of high school students admit to copying someone else's work. 43% of college students engage in unauthorized collaboration on out-of-class assignments, and even 43% of parents admitted to completing a child's assignment. So that's over half of, or almost half, of every grade level, even parents admitting to cheating. Can you think of how many that didn't admit to it? How many that weren't on the survey? That's almost everybody. Everybody's cheating on homework because it's too stressful. Okay? It is stressful. You don't believe me? Here's another statistic. Stanford.edu states 56% of students considered homework a primary source of stress, according to the survey data. 43% and 33% said other things related to test scores and grades were their primary stressors. Less than 1% of students said homework was not a stressor. Isn't that kind of a wake-up call why we should not be overloading our kids with constant work after they've done work all day? Because it's just stressing them out? It's a statistic. Alright. Now you have to think, if you have 4 hours of school to do, after school, you're not going to get any sleep that night. Because usually, I'll tell you how my day goes when I get home. I go home, I do chores, I do homework, and I eat. And then I go to bed. There's been times when I've stayed up to 11:58 doing homework because it was due at 12 a.m. That's ridiculous. That's sleep depriving a child. You can't expect them to make good grades the next day if they're going to be tired. You can't expect them to make good grades on a test if they're cheating the whole time. That's defeating the purpose of homework. It's not increasing the grades. It's making them go down. Alright, so how do we fix this nationwide problem? I have some solutions. As a parent, you can talk to your school leaders. Okay, if you make a deal about it and you actually start bothering them about your kid having too much work because they're sleep deprived, because they're stressed out, because they mentally cannot handle having that much to do in a day, and you're taking away from their life outside of school, and you keep making a push a pushback on that, they're gonna change because they don't want to deal with you at the school every day. They don't want to deal with you calling them and telling them to change their thing. You're gonna bother them, and that's good because then they're gonna actually change. Okay? If you don't feel comfortable doing something like that, there's also different organizations that have been pushing to help abolish homework or lessen the load altogether. They are change.org and fist.org. There's also, you can just raise awareness, like tell other parents about it, and they'll probably tune in because they don't want that to happen to their kid. Those are great ways to do little things that make a big difference. Okay? Now that I've explained the uselessness of homework, because it doesn't help your kid, and I've given statistics providing why it just does them more harm than good, and ways to support the movement against it, I'm asking you to make a move and take charge. Okay? Go out, tell people that they don't need to be doing homework. Tell people that it stresses your kid out. Tell them that it can sleep deprive them. Give these reasons. Just do your part, because I'm willing to do mine. I'm willing to spread awareness. I'm willing to try to save myself from having to do so much and stress myself out. If you want the best for your child, go out and do these things too. That's all.